Good morning. Welcome to Kitsap Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whoever you are and wherever you come from, for this time we here are one gathered congregation and all are welcome. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing our musical call to worship, We Would Be, hymn number 318 in our Singing the Living Tradition hymnal. My name is Kim Stewart, and I use she, her pronouns. I've been attending KUUF since 2018. I'm on the board, the nominating committee, and a lay leader. I have long hair, and I'm wearing a burgundy dress, and I double-checked that it's not a Patriots color, so I feel safe. Our guest speaker this morning is lifelong UU and retired minister Linda Hart, who served in community ministry, working with homeless teens and in congregations in Vermont, Washington, Connecticut, and England. She lives in Olympia. Welcome, Reverend Linda. We strive to be an inclusive community. If you're visiting this morning, please participate as you feel comfortable. You are also invited to stay and meet people during coffee hour. If you're attending online today, you're welcome to introduce yourself in the chat. In your order of service, we have an insert of events and announcements. I'd like to draw your attention to the adult RE after the service today. We'll be discussing Pima Chodron's book, The Places That Scare You. Coming up in 2 weeks, we have a visioning retreat, and the board's excited to work with you all as we renew our vision and strategic plan for the future. For more announcements about Kitsap Unitarian Universalist Fellowship activities, please see our weekly email newsletter, The Candle. Please also note that the end of our order of service now says, embody the flame instead of extinguish the chalice. The worship committee made this change to remind us that the light of truth and warmth of community are not destroyed, but carried out into the world by encouraging individuals to live out our faith in our daily lives, and by emphasizing that our spiritual, communal, and justice-seeking work is never actually extinguished. Now, let's take a moment to silence any electronic devices that you don't need to be monitoring for our time together. Please join me in taking a few centering breaths. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the Aboriginal territory of the Suquamish people. Expert fishermen, canoe builders, and basket weavers, the Suquamish live in harmony with the lands and waterways along Washington's central Salish Sea, as they have for thousands of years. Here, the Suquamish live and protect the lands and waters of their ancestors for future generations as promised by the Point Elliott Treaty of 1855. I invite Board of Trustees and Stewardship Committee member Vernita Byron to the pulpit to deliver an important stewardship message.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Vernita Byron. I use she, her pronouns. I'm on the shorter side. I have chin-length hair that is very highly blonde. I wear red glasses. I am wearing a blue suit today with a white and blue striped top. And I am one of the newer members here. I did not grow up UU. I came from a different church tradition. I was drawn here because it's a place that tries to live its values. When our children and grandchildren settled here in Kitsap County, Tim and I bought a house in Postville in 2019. After the elections in 2020, I was feeling very unsettled. And I remember thinking, where are my people? Where do I belong now? Starting over at this stage of life can be surprisingly lonely. A number of my friends are Unitarian, so I decided I'm going to visit a Unitarian service. When I walked through the doors here at KUUF, something in me relaxed. I can't fully explain it. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't fancy. It just felt kind. People smiled. People talked to me. No one expected me to be anything other than who I am. I am naturally shy and very private, so walking into this new place isn't easy for me. But something kept feeding my heart and my spirit, so I kept coming back. It took me over a year to become an official member, but I knew from the very first visit that I'd found a home and a place to belong. And since then, I have realized something. My story is not unique. I hear people saying, I have found a place for my young kids to ask the big questions. I can be my full self here. I do not feel judged here. And sometimes people just say, it feels good to walk through those doors on Sunday morning. It settles me. I find my people. It prepares me for the week. That is KUUF. It's not just a building or Sunday service. It's belonging, it's community, it's knowing someone notices when you're not here. Right now, more and more people are finding us. Some are becoming members, some are still deciding, and some are quietly showing up like I did at first. They are here because they are searching for exactly what I was searching for: connection, acceptance, and a place to land. And that is what stewardship supports. Last year, we raised $239,000 to support the fellowship. This year, our goal is $288,000, not just to keep the lights on, but to hire a full-time minister, to sustain our music and worship, to support our children's programs, to care for one another, and help people feel like they belong here, especially those walking through our doors to find a home. We do that by showing up, sharing our dreams, pledging our support, so this fellowship can remain strong and alive. If you would like to take part in what comes next, please join us on February the 21st for Visioning for Our Future and March 7th for the talent show and spaghetti dinner. Both events include childcare and food. We ask that you RSVP so we can plan well. You can sign up for both events in the Candle, our weekly newsletter, and if you will look around the building, you'll see Visioning for Our Future posters. You can sign up there for both events. And you have pledge forms. Oh, okay, and it's also in the order of service. But if you'd like to pledge today, we have made it very easy for you because you can use these QR forms to do it. It only takes a moment. Because here is what I have come to believe. When we pledge, we are not funding a budget. We are creating a place where someone like me and someone like you can walk in on Sunday morning and think, this is where I belong. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I have to say thank you for your words this morning because you set me up so perfectly for my sermon. I'm Linda Hart. I am an older white woman with short cropped hair, glasses, and a dark blue top that's patterned. These words by Andy Backus, my cousin, to start our service today. We come drawn by one another and by the hope that we might discover the hidden meanings, that we might once again trust a mystery. From pains and pressures, from problems and plans, we lift ourselves out and join together to share a corner of time and make it sacred. We celebrate life in all its unexpected pleasures and dashed hopes. We celebrate love in all of its power to heal and its promise of a false simplicity. Now we are together again, and in peace we join our hearts and minds in order that we might create among us. And when the advancing edge of time, always so near, cuts us apart, and walls and worries separate us once again, let our creation sustain us, and may we remember that we will meet again. It is good to be together this day.
We welcome Bonner Sams forward to light our chalice. Typically, the worship coordinator selects the chalice lighter, yet today's selection had to bow out due to illness. If you don't know Bonner yet, it's only a matter of time. As Z is thoroughly immersed in all things KUUF. In addition to the worship committee, Bonner also is involved in the nominating committee, screening the second Friday film series, the new campus pagan group, in addition to co-chairing the committee for shared ministry. Bonner is also known for having exceptional culinary skills, as evident at our potlucks, and always offering a loving hug to anyone. Join me now in lighting our chalice by reciting these words in unison by Paul Leheureux. May the flame of this chalice be like the light of a candle placed in the window of a home to invite the wanderer to come in out of the storm. Please join me in the spoken affirmation. The words will appear on your screen. We gather as a caring community, seeking life's deeper meanings. We value diversity and affirm the worth of all living things. We strive to speak truth in love, to act for justice, to grow in spirit, and to care for the earth. We celebrate with open hearts and minds the creative power that sustains and transforms us. Please rise in body or in spirit to join in singing hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land, in the Singing the Living Tradition hymn.
Good morning. That's one of my favorites. I love that song. My name is Melinda. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. I have new dark glasses, red hair with some purple streaks, and today I'm wearing a light blue cardigan with a patterned blue shirt underneath. This month, the children are focusing on resilience. What a great theme, resilience. And today, they're going to be talking about grit. So with that in mind, I want to share a story about how we respond when life gets hard. This is the parable of the potato, the egg, and the coffee bean. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and she didn't know what she was going to do to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned, impatiently waiting to see what he was doing. After about 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He took the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. Turning to her, he asked, "What do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she replied with a bit of annoyance. "Look closer," he said, "and touch the potatoes." So she did, and noted that they were soft and fell apart at the slightest touch. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potatoes went in strong and hard and unrelenting, but when faced with boiling water, it became soft and weak and fell apart. The egg was fragile, but when faced with the boiling water, it became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they didn't fall apart or turn hard. Instead, they had the strength to absorb the water and transform it into something wonderful. "Which one are you?" he asked his daughter. When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? In life, things happen around us, and things happen to us. The only thing that truly matters is your choice of how you react to it. You can crumble in fear, turn hard and refuse to change, or you can dig deep and absorb the adversity and transform it into something new and wonderful. This story reminds us that we don't choose the challenges we face, but we can choose how to respond. That choice of how we show up, keep trying, ask for help, and stay steady is what we call grit and resilience.
Thank you, Melinda. You shared in our sacred love of coffee, so very good. As a religious community, together we can do the work of many. By sharing in a sacred act of giving, we transform gratitude into generosity towards our mission. One way that our mission inspires us to act on our shared UU values is to share our weekly offering with a local nonprofit agency providing services within our larger community. Our charitable giving recipient for the month of February is our partner church in Transylvania. If you would like your offering to go to this month's charitable giving recipient, our partner church, please use the envelope from inside your order of service. If you need an envelope, please raise your hand and the ushers will bring you one. If you would like your offering to go to KUF, please put it directly in the basket. Instructions on ways to make your gift, including a QR code, will be on screen. Let there be an offering to strengthen and sustain our beloved community with a gift of music from music coordinator Brian Kenny and choir director Alina Hemingway. This is a special piece of music written and composed by none other than Mike Menifee. Lift Up the People, sung by our beloved choir.
Thanks.
Hi all, I'm Mike Menifee. I use he, him pronouns. I'm wearing all black today because I want to be like Ted Johnsrud. I'm getting old and my hair is short and trending toward being white. Today's song, I'm up here because we need your help. You're going to have a segment where you're asked to sing along. So the lyrics are, gonna lift up the people who lift me up, and it sounds like this, and then I'd like you all to sing it back for me. Gonna lift up the people who lift me up. Gonna lift up the people who lift me up. Nice. Then the next line is the same lyric with different notes. It sounds like this. Gonna lift up the people who lift me up. Gonna lift up the people who lift me up. And the third line is, the words are, tie myself to the people who set me free. And it sounds like this. Tie myself to the people who set me free. Tie myself to the people who set me free. Well done. Now, I have some good news for you. You've all passed your audition, so we expect to see you Thursday night for choir rehearsal. The words should appear on the screen when we get there, and you'll know it's your turn because I will go like this. Okay, here we go. Okay, choir, here we go.
We're so lucky to have these talented people, Mike Menifee and the choir, and Alina and Brian. Please rise in body or in spirit to join me in singing our children up to their classes. The words for May You Go With Joy, also written by Mike Menifee, will appear on our screens. When shared together, our joys are amplified and our sorrows lessened. We have a joy from Ellen Newberg. Her joy is for the wonderful social events we're enjoying thanks to our auction. For example, the Searle Indian Curry Dinner. Genevieve Emmett has a concern that if Bremerton School District's current levy doesn't pass, 60% of paraeducator funding will be chopped. Chris has a sorrow for people who have no homes around our world. I have a joy for my teenagers up at Port Townsend's Quimper UU this weekend, celebrating the UU Youth Con, which I've been calling going to the Yukon, and they don't think it's funny. And our last joy is from Bonner Sam's. On February 9th, 1990, Bonner Sam's crash landed on Capitol Hill in Seattle, thereby starting a 36-year journey that one day would bring him to Bremerton and eventually KUF. Yay. And we light one last candle for those joys and sorrows that are still too tender to share.
I invite you into a moment of prayer or intention, whatever is most your custom. Take a moment to settle yourself in. Close your eyes if that's comfortable to you. Take a deep breath in and out. These words from Carter Hayward. We are not automatic lovers of self, others, world, or God. Love does not just happen. We are not love machines, puppets on the strings of a deity called love. Love is a choice, not simply or necessarily a rational choice, but rather a willingness to be present to others without pretense or guile. In these moments of stillness together, let us open. Let us come into this time without pretense, without guile. Fully here to all of what is present in us, around us. The work of love in the world is not sweet and pretty. It is not what is given to us, it is what we choose. To love the world, the grime and the loss of it, no less than its wonder and loveliness. Apprehending it for all that it is. That is a choice to be fully present, no pretense, no guile. To love each other, never forgetting the priceless beauty in every face, in every heart, no exceptions. Never forgetting the brokenness sometimes abiding at the core, the source of our deepest wounds, often the source of our greatest power. learning again and again that we are joined to one another, more alike than we are different, choosing to be present to another, choosing to be fully present to another. No guile, no pretense. This is the work of a lifetime. Let us take it up again with joy and intention, this day and every day. Let us hold a moment of silence together. So may it be. Amen. Please remain seated as we sing together number 123 from the gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. Lyrics will stream at the monitors.
Our first reading today is Simple Tools by Rosemary Watola Tromer. I am so grateful for the rubber spatula, the way it sits quietly in the drawer, yet is always ready for action, is game to scrape the walls of the blender or to fold chocolate chips into cookie dough. It evens and swirls the frosting on cake and welcomes the tongue of a child. In a sharp world, it knows the value of being blunt. It knows that to smooth is a gift to the world. Some people are knives, and I thank them. Me, I want to belong to the order of spatulas, those who blend, who mix, who commingle dissimilars to create a cohesive whole. I want to spread sweetness, to be a workhorse for beauty, to stir things up, to clean things out. I want to be useful, an instrument of unity, a means, a lever for life.
How many spatulas we got out there? Do you all know Rosemary Watola Tromer? Anybody know her as poetry? She writes a poem every day, and if you look up her website, you can read along with her. She is spectacular. And now from the poet, Adrienne Rich, her poem, Natural Resources, this excerpt. She talks about the work that women do in the world, and then she notes, this fraying blanket, with its ancient stains, we pull across the sick child's shoulder or wrap around the senseless legs of the hero trained to kill. This weaving ragged because incomplete we turn our hands to, interrupted over and over, handed down unfinished, found in an old drawer, in an old dresser, in the barn, her vanished pride and care still urging on our work, to close the gap in the great nebula, to help the earth deliver. My heart is moved by all I cannot save. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who, age after age, perversely, with no extraordinary power, reconstitute the world. Here end our readings.
I have a voice, started out as a whisper, turned into a scream, made a beautiful noise, shoulder to shoulder standing in the street. When you're all alone, it's a quiet breeze, but when you band together, it's a choir, thunder and rain. Now we have a choice, 'cause I have a voice. I'm not living to die. Don't stand in a wasteland, look at me in the eye. Stop living a lie and stand up next to me. You've gotta put one foot in front of the other, with a hand and a hand holding on to each other. Go on and rejoice, 'cause you have a voice. It is loud, it is clear, it's stronger than your fear. It's believing you belong, it's for calling out the wrong. From the silence of our sisters to the violence of our brothers, we can rage against the river, feel the pain of another. I have a voice, I have a voice, and I let it speak for the ones who aren't yet running free. It's killing me, no one is saying what we need to hear. I will not let silence win now, and I see all the pain our people are in. There's no other choice, 'cause I have a voice. It is loud, it is clear, it's stronger than your fear. It's believing you belong, it's for calling out the wrong. From the mouths of our mothers to the lips of our daughters, we can dream like our brothers, speaking loud like our fathers. We can hear. Can you hear us? Can you hear us now? I have a voice, started out as a whisper, turned into a scream, made a beautiful noise, shoulder to shoulder, marching in the street. When you're all alone, it's a quiet breeze, but when you band together, it's a choir of thunder and rain. Now we have a choice, 'cause I have a voice. Now we have a choice, 'cause I have a voice. Now we have a choice, 'cause I have a voice.
I only found found out yesterday that this is your stewardship month. Just no one kind of bothered to mention it to me, and I only bring this up because it's been, probably a decade or more since I was preaching here. I'm talking way back in the past. I was preaching here, and it was Stewardship Day, and they got up and they did their thing. And then I read my reading for that day, which was from my colleague, Bob Carnan, and I'm just going to share it with you because you'll understand why. The quality of love and goodness we expose from our sometimes reluctant hearts will change the world. Our task is not to make more UUs or to make bigger congregations or to raise great gobs of money. It seemed a good idea at the time to share this. But he goes on, and his words are part of will be echoed by my sermon. Our job is to heal and inspire, to open and remake, and thus change what is sorry into what is joy. It is why we gather in the spirit of love and justice. It is why I give my life in service to that which can only be described as invisible and intangible, but which is also the most powerful force of all, are all too human, sometimes faltering, sometimes complete, sometimes painful and sad, sometimes serene and laughing love that speaks, if anything at all does, with the voice of God. Some years ago, many years ago now, I was serving the congregation in Spokane, and I started the sermon with the question, why are we here? And laughter erupted in the back, and I was very confused by such a thing, as you might guess. And I had no idea, but I went ahead with my sermon. And some days later, I was shopping, and I found myself whistling one of the hymn tunes that we had been singing that day, and someone else started whistling it in the grocery store. And I looked at her puzzled, and she came over to me and she said, I was at your service on Sunday, and you may have been startled by people laughing. And I said, yes. And she said, well, my friends and I had agreed that we would come and go hiking, and we would park in your parking lot on that Sunday morning. And then we felt a little guilty, so we came in. And you said, why are we here? And we thought, the cartoonist, John McPherson, really understands churches. Anybody familiar with his work? You've probably seen it. He's great. He has a whole book that's called McPherson Goes to Church. And in it, the first cartoon the first cartoon has the caption, "New members at the Sandy Hill Church were often overwhelmed by the intense pressure to get involved. And in the picture, there is a whole wall, and it has the lists of committees, right? And they're the ones that you'd expect would be there. There's the trustees and the music committee and the religious education group and all of that. But if you look further, there are the more interesting ones, like the pigeon control committee, or the thermostat setting committee, or the committee for more comfortable pews, right? Do y'all get that feeling sometimes, every now and again? And the cheerful man who's standing with these totally freaked out newcomers is saying, most people serve on 9 or 10 committees, but since you're new, I'm sure people will understand if you just start with 6 or 7. It is sometimes, I think, easy to lose track of what it is that draws us together and what we offer to each other as a religious community. As a lifelong Unitarian Universalist, I can speak to what it is that our religious movement offers and has offered me throughout my life. And while I only know a little about this congregation, I know with certainty that you embody the love and care and connection that I've known in all the congregations I've been a part of throughout my life. I want to celebrate first that this is a community that offers people the possibility of life-saving and life-giving connection. I don't say that metaphorically. I say that in the most literal sense because it's true in my life. The congregation in which I grew up is in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. We went to church every week. My father, by the way, was also a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. Well, he was a lifelong Unitarian. I'm getting into the details, sorry. We went to church every week. Dad was on the building committee, and Mom taught Sunday school. They did all sorts of things. After their marriage disintegrated, we continued to be active. In that time, it was an absolutely vital link for me. I was one of the very few children who came from a broken home, as we called it at the time. And I was now in a single-parent home. In addition to the stigma of having only one parent at home, my mother was involved in the civil rights movement at the time. This is the early 60s. Our pictures and names were in the paper from the times that we went out and picketed and marched. Our neighbors were appalled. They were even more appalled when a Negro family, as we said in those days, moved in around the block from us, our all hoping to be middle-class white folks community. My mother went to the family and offered to help them get settled in. While they moved in, she and another white woman from our congregation stood in the yard or sat inside talking and smoking cigarettes in full view of the street because they feared that someone might plant a bomb. You remember those days, some of you, I'm sure. My mother's out-of-wedlock pregnancy compounded our isolation from that nice, striving to be middle-class neighborhood. Though the neighbors couldn't know what would have been for them, I suspect, the greater horror that the child she carried was of mixed race. Her pregnancy as a single mother in 1968 caused my brother and me to be utterly shunned by all of our playmates. At 11, I couldn't comprehend what was going on, only that I was alone, except at church. This was the place where the children were my friends, and where our activism wasn't a matter of shame, but noted with gratitude and honor. My mother's pregnancy, though I'm sure it wasn't celebrated, didn't cause her to be excluded as a participant in the life of the church. Indeed, she went on to serve basically on every committee and all the boards, and eventually go on to working on the national denomination. It's probably true that I would have survived those years of being alone without that congregation to enfold me, but I'd likely be a sadder person than I am today, likely less whole than I am because there was a community to nurture a frightened and lonely child. And the truth of it is, they probably didn't even know it at the time. They probably couldn't see the life-giving power that the community had for my family during those years. It's the gift that we give to each other. It is what we share with one another, and it is always a cause for celebration. As I grew into my teen years, my family continued to struggle and falter. My mother practiced what she called benign neglect, and that meant that we were pretty much on our own. Sex too much and too soon, drugs, hitchhiking into Washington, D.C., and staying out all night were probably the most significant dangerous things I did in my teen years. It was all helped along by my friend from around the block, a couple years younger than me, Eric. Eric ran away early and learned to live on the streets, selling his precious body for a place to sleep, a little money, and some decent drugs. And for the illusion, I think, that someone cared about him. Eric took me along for some of the ride. While I never got caught in that life of prostitution, I hovered dangerously close. My mother and I never fought about this wild behavior. She knew enough about it to insist that I get some form of birth control. I never became a homeless youth because that would have meant she would have cared enough to fight with me and throw me out. There was always home to come back to, and church. Now, one weekend night, I was waiting in a small examining room at our local free clinic just a few blocks from our home. A boyfriend of mine let me know that he had gonorrhea and that I needed to be checked and treated. Sitting in a thin white gown that they provided, I waited for the volunteer doctor to come in and do what was needed. Imagine my surprise when Dr. Shea from the church pulled back the curtain. I honestly don't know which one of us was more surprised. He asked the right questions, did the needed exam, instructed the nurse to give me appropriate shots, and then told me to get dressed and to wait there. He would be back. I was busted. After the shots and I was dressed, he came back in and sat down and said, "Linda, don't you know how precious you are to us? Don't you know how precious you are to us? You deserve better, and I'm asking you to be good to yourself because you are of great value to all of us." Dr. Shea and the community that drew the two of us together did indeed save my life. There was a place in my life where I was accepted for who I was, no matter the dysfunction and the sadness and the loss. There was a place in my life where I could contribute, no matter the failures and the dangerous chances. There was a place where people could love me, even when I couldn't love myself. There was a place of people who held me when I was lost and frightened and aching, and the truth of it is, they probably didn't know about the life-giving power that the community had for me all of those years. It is the gift we give to one another when we are in community together. It is what we share, and it is a cause for celebration. Now, happily, early in my training for ministry, I was able to go back and to preach in that congregation and to say thank you to them for saving my life. This church was a place that created and sustained an environment where such saving power could be offered. But what surprised me most about it was that as I greeted people after the service, one after another came and took my hand and said to me, "Yes, it saved my life too." We probably don't see that what we do here has that kind of power. We here in this congregation have the power to save lives, not in some metaphorical sense, but truly to save each other, our children, and that newcomer who has just come through the door. It is always a gift beyond measure. The power of this community is not only in its ability to enfold each other in our struggles just to live. It's also in our seeking to lift up and rejoice in life's wonder and beauty. And the power isn't only that we do this without asking that we believe in a particular belief or a creed or dogma. The power is not only that we join in community in this common search, coming together to discover not what we choose to believe, but what we must believe because of the truth we have found. Our power is not only in these, though they are all truly powerful. My life wasn't only saved, you see. I was given life too. Encouraged to ask the question that the poet asks, what is it you want to do with your one wild and precious life? If only I had been saved, that would have been enough, dayenu, as the Jews would say. But there was more, a challenge and encouragement to be something more, to do something more, to do something with my one wild and precious life. This too is the gift that we give to each other, and it is cause for celebration. I hope you share my belief that this is a life-giving and life-saving community. Amen? Amen. Amen. I can't tell you the number of times I've led a newcomers class and heard people say, I wish I'd known about Unitarian Universalism earlier in my life. Anybody identify? Yeah, right? I wish I'd known about this earlier. I think I've been a Unitarian Universalist all my life without knowing it. How many? Yeah, some of y'all. How is it that we can share our community with the wider world and invite in those who need the embrace of our community, who need this life-giving message that we have to share? Well, there are lots of strategies for that. A couple of years ago, this is one of my favorite stories about it, a colleague of mine, not a Unitarian Universalist, but this story is too good not to share. He was out driving one day, and he was driving, at the speed limit like you do sometimes, and there was this woman behind him who was just like right there on his bumper, just like, she just needed to get past him. And eventually the road opened and the car went speeding past, and she offered her favorite sign language, apparently, the single-fingered kind, right? And as it would happen, don't you love it when this happens, like there's a red light? And my colleague pulled up, Red Hawk, pulled up right next to her and rolled down his window, and he, motioned to her. And I love this story. So she actually rolled down her window, and he pulled out his business card and said, "Hi, here's my card. Why don't you come and join me at our church next week?" She dropped the card, none too kindly, and replied, "I already have a church." And Red Hawk said, "Well, I hope that works better for you next week." And with that, pulled away. Now, this is not necessarily the best way to share our community, though who knows? I suspect most of us feel more like Nancy Mears does. In one of her books, she says, "I feel no drive towards proselytism. To be blunt, I have too much trouble bringing about my own conversions and commitments day after day to take on anybody else's. And I have no intention of trying to persuade others to adopt precepts and the ways of being with which I'm struggling myself." Amen? Yeah. I've spent most of my life feeling that way too. Not wanting to intrude on others, honoring to the point of silliness the notion that each of us must come to our own understanding of religion. A friend in Chicago, another story, a friend in Chicago once told me about a conversation he was having with a friend at work. And the friend was saying something disparaging about gay people. And John, my friend, challenged him, and the colleague replied that his church taught him that homosexuality was sinful and could not be tolerated. And John didn't miss a beat. "My church," he replied, "teaches that all people are worthy and precious. My church teaches me that love is primary in our regarding of our fellow human beings. Would you like me to bring you some more information on it?" Are you taking notes on this, friends? I mean, one way we can build community is simply to tell our friends and invite them to come. Offer them information if such an opportunity comes out. Nancy Mears, though she claims to have no drive to proselytize, in fact wrote several books about her religious journey and the conversions that shaped her religious life. She wasn't seeking to convert others, only to share with them what she had learned along the way. We can do some of that same sharing with those we care about and with those that we know. Let me suggest too, though, that it is critical, perhaps even more critical, to the invitations that we offer our friends is the work of maintaining and supporting a vital, creative, and loving community here. It means bringing your creativity and care to this community by welcoming newcomers on Sundays or working with the children and youth, by giving of your resources. See what I mean by you set me up well? Building community means attending to your own spiritual quest, learning how to live well and deeply with kindness and compassion, and allowing it to shine out into your every day-to-day, day-by-day interactions. Building our community means that we grow in depth of relationship with each other and struggle with difficult questions together. Building our community means the ongoing work for peace and freedom and justice, seeking to create the world of which we dream. My colleague, Bob Carnan, said that our job, while it isn't to raise great gobs of money necessarily, he says that our job is to heal and to inspire, to open and to remake, and thus change what is sorrow into joy. It is why we gather in the spirit of love and justice, why we give our hearts in service to what can only be described as invisible and intangible, but which is also the most powerful force of all, our all too human, sometimes faltering, sometimes complete, sometimes painful and sad, sometimes serene and laughing love that speaks, if anything at all does, with the voice of God. What is it we shall do together as a religious community? We have a wondrous and amazing gift that can heal the world, if only person by person, a little bit at a time. It is in our hearts and minds to make it so. Amen. So may it be. Our closing hymn today is Wo Ya Ya, and it's the title song of a 1971 album by a musical group whose name I cannot pronounce without sounding terribly silly. A musical group composed of Ghanaian and Caribbean musicians. It was frequently heard in work camps throughout Central West Africa in the 70s and 80s. Like many other African scat syllables, Wo Ya Ya can have many meanings. According to the song's composer, it means we are going. So please rise and body your spirit. And let's sing closing hymn 1020 in the Teal hymnal. Hello. There we are. I would invite you to, if you know the From You I Receive, to You I Give, y'all know that one? I would invite you to join with me in singing that for our embodying, as we get prepared to embody the flame. And y'all know about embodying the flame already, right? This is a new thing. We don't extinguish it. We take it within ourselves and carry it out into the world. Have you gotten that message yet today? Yeah. Okay, good, good. So let's sing together. Oh, look at you. You're awesome. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and thus we live. So let us receive each other's gifts in love, give to each other with courage and caring, share together in peace, and thus weave together our dreams into a community of love, of memory, and of hope. Blessed be.